Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to start on the prototype of Jaeger from Crucible. This is a prototype review, and just like the others, it is very fragile. So, because I don't want to break anything, I'm going to try to be as delicate as possible. So, let's get started. We have him, I believe this is fully equipped. This is how he came, wrapped in his bubble wrap. And as you can see, just like with other Savage Crucibles, you will have your armor that pops on at the back of the top of our arm. Right? This one actually has a hood, and for movement wise, just so you can get a look, it looks like the hood is flexible enough that we are allowed to move the head around, right? It won't hinder any sort of articulation as of that I know of right now. And in our prototype, it works. I am very worried about the arrows. Like, that is just, and again, this is a prototype, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I am worried about the arrows because when you get to articulation, right? Because they're soft, they do bend, but I don't know how the final product will look. So, articulation wise, we have our standard Savage Crucible articulation that we've gotten so far, which means we can lift our arms up. In this case, they're fragile. So they should actually lift up through the usage of the ball joint on the back, right? See how they lift up with it? But we cannot get on Jaeger, we cannot get a full T-pose, and I'm not sure whether that's due to it being a proto or otherwise. But we do have bicep swivel. We have our double joint, which, see what I mean? And our double joint is still double, as you can see here. We have our wrist gauntlet swivel. And we have a horizontal joint on the wrist pegs for the clawed hands. We can actually go forward as well and backwards, right? Our waist, we can go left, we can go right, we can actually tilt as well, and we do have a forward ab crunch, but I'm worried about breaking these soft arrows, so I don't want to do that. We also have an under crunch here in this area. As far as the legs, with the help of this soft plastic, we can actually go out about this far on Jaeger. That means going upward, we are also limited. So he seems to be one of the few that will be limited in terms of articulation because of the waist design. Our pouch actually has a small hinge here. We do have boot swivel, right? And we have generous ankle pivot, which I cannot fully express due to the paint gathering together on the proto, right? Now, as far as accessories goes, for what I was packed with him, let's sit here and talk about that while jumping into it, because I'm not sure how this works with the packs because I'm reviewing these before, but I know that by the time these go up, the Kickstarters will be live, so I'm hoping it will be talked about because I don't know that just yet. So let's jump now. As we talk about the accessories, let's go over our alternate head sculpts that I have here. Here we have a very nice alternate sculpt, alternate sculpt with a snarling teeth, the eye patch, and the scar. This is painted really beautifully, and I hope it keeps the same paint job because I actually really like this. I'm not sure if Jaeger's a wolfman or not, but I'm 100% here for cool stuff like this, right? I love that. Then we have this crazy mask sculpt, which I have no idea what this comes with, but this looks crazy. It was packed in with Jaeger, and it looks really, really good. So if you're a crazy skull man or you love meatless men like me, this is very similar to a scary meatless man with a crazy metal jaw mask, right? As well as a crossbow that we have here. And I believe that's where these guys come in for obvious reasons. You will get a crossbow to match up with those arrows, and I do like that the wolf head is there, the little arrow here as well too, so this is pretty dope. Then you will have a hunch down hood. As you can see here, you'll have that hunch down hood, so that way when you don't, even if you don't want this sculpt up there, you can obviously use it as downed. Then you will have vertically hinged item holding hands as well as, and I didn't get a chance to point this out, you will get a sheathed knife, which I cannot take out. It's actually really, really stuck in there. So you will get a sheath knife, as well as this giant blade, just like on Barbarian, which actually has a sword that comes out. I didn't want to take these off because on Barbarian, when I tried doing it, it actually caused some issues to the proto, and I'm very worried about that. But accessory-wise, we looking like really pumped out for these guys with lots of different options, and I'm okay with it. I think the one thing about this is that the hindered articulation has me a little worried, but again, on a proto, I cannot tell if the plastic will be softer or allow it to go up So I hope these first impressions will help answer some questions, or have you to have questions to ask for Savage Crucible, as I'm just testing it out, so I'm very scared. I don't want to break anything. But as you can see here, it does stretches, right? So hopefully we'll get more. In the meantime, we're going to get ready to jump into size comparison. So I'll see you guys. Alright, now we're going to jump into the size comparison. I'm going to use some Savage Crucible stuff first before we compare to other lines. First up, I'm going to do Paranoid because fan favorite for me, my fan favorite. But more importantly, because he stands the best. And the rest I have to work a little bit harder on because they're protos. So here we are with Paranoid. And if you have him hunched over, this is what the height will look like. But if I bend that articulation back and sit that torso up a little higher, you can see technically Paranoid can sit at a much better height. So let's actually leave him there standing. And then we have the Lumerian, right? AKA my homie Lizard Man, personal favorite, right? Everyone knows I love Soul Calibur, and if you don't know, now you know. I'm a big Soul Calibur fan. So let's get this guy here, right? I'm gonna stand him straight up as well, and as you can see with Jaeger, he might stand just a tad bit taller. So these guys being different heights, I don't mind, because when you mix and match parts, you'll get different things. But this is what we have so far. Next up, I forgot this guy's name, so please don't judge me. But we're gonna use another Savage Crucible guy, and here we are with him, right? As you can see, he stands pretty well. The only one I'm not gonna do is Dwarf and Barbarian, because they actually broke, and I'm a little sad about that. So yes. Next up, we're gonna compare some other stuff. So here we are with Zesray Studio and Mythic Legions, which also fit right in our theme of what's going on. I'm going to use Baron Boligar 2 and a Zesray Studio female, because the men and the women actually for Zesray stand at the same height. So we're just using what's closest, right? Let me actually just, there we go. Next up, we have Mezco 112 Collective Conan the Barbarian. He has a bunch of mixed parts between the two Conans, but I love this look that I've made for him. Actually, Conan is tiny, but I love that look. Next up, we have a Kulu World Skeleton, right? As we continue to mix and match up our lines. Next up, just in case you want to aim a little taller, here is a Storm Collectible Skeleton. As you can see, they are a little bit taller and work a little bit better with that. Then we're going to aim for our small lines. So here we are, the G.I. Joe Classified Python Patrol Officer. Right? Here we are with the McFarlane the Witcher. I figured we'd throw that in since I have a Witcher, right? Next up, we have a Marvel Legends Gore. I feel like it's a good place to fit him in here, size-wise. And Gore is actually much bigger, as you can see, I mean, bigger. And then we have a Marvel Legends Spiral. Show you a smaller Marvel Legends. How they line up. Ooh. Oh no, Gore. You gotta be a jerk and knock down the cats. We'll fix you guys later. But yes, as you can see here, this is what we have so far. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this and you enjoy the few photos at the end that I take with the protos. And thank you again for watching. Thanks for Savage Crucible for letting me do some proto reviews to help the people. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.